you have a graduation project requirement that's due. This graduation project is split into two parts, and they're really two very different pieces to the graduation requirements that are required for the course. And what this is really, in a sense, kind of forcing students to do is to use the catalog. So you're gonna be forced to use the Mount Aloysius College catalog to find information about things graduation related. So that's really the key of what this is all about. So it's not a meaningless assignment. It really is meaningful. And although it may not seem like it should be something you're thinking about in your first year, there's a great deal of research that suggests that students who begin to think early about graduation have definitely extended benefits throughout their college career, and specifically knowing what it is that you need to do to graduate. Okay? That's one of the things. But it helps also, I think, to put things into perspective in terms of what you need to do, where you are in your coursework and all that stuff. So two parts to this. The first one is quiz questions. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. The second one is simply a quiz. It's a quiz in here. It's graduation requirements quiz. There are 10 questions for this. So you would take the quiz, answer the questions based on the catalog. So you can have this as an open book. The catalog is your textbook, and you'll be able to look at the questions, answer the questions, and you have unlimited attempts here with this as well that you can see. It will keep the highest score as well. So point here is that if you want to get 100% on this, you can do that. Okay? As long as you take this quiz and get a perfect score in the time frame that it's due. So you'll be able to see the due date here. So if you take that quiz the first time and you only get one question correct, you have until the due date to take it over again as many times as you need to get a perfect score. However, if you take it once, you fail it, and then you don't retake it before the due date, then your grade is an F. Okay, makes sense. All right, so I'm going to go back here because I want to talk about the other one. I'm not really going to get into detail about that. This one is a little bit more confusing. So the link to the Mount Aloysius College catalog is here. I'm going to open that up. It opens in a new tab. So I'll go back and forth here a bit. And I'm going to just kind of read over this for a minute. So basically what you're doing is you're going to create a quiz. Okay, so you are going to look at the Mount Aloysius College catalog, and you are going to create a quiz. You're going to come up with 10 questions related to graduation requirements. Okay, now, it shouldn't be true and false. I mean, you can have a couple true and false, do things like multiple choice, maybe some true and false, maybe, like multiple answers. If you want to do matching, if you want to mess with that kind of stuff, you can do that as well. Most students tend to go with multiple choice, maybe a short answer with maybe like a word or two as your short answer option. But multiple choice is good. Multiple choice, true, false, if you want to do some kind of combination of that. But if you want to get creative, that's fine as well. So basically what you're going to be doing here is you're going to go out to the catalog, and you're going to start to look through the catalog, and you're going to be looking, I would say start in the academic policies and procedures. So you click on this link. This will open up this page for academic policies and procedures. And then you can look at different things regarding graduation. Here are graduation requirements for an associate's degree, graduation requirements for a bachelor's degree, and you can look through this. This is a good one to look through in terms of like what the cum laude and magna, summa, what those are all about. You can just be creative with this. You come up with the questions, any questions you want that are related to something related to graduation. Okay. I will tell you though, with that quiz, the second part, get to know this area here, because a lot of the questions that you're going to have are related to this area right here. Okay, so there's information about graduation, withdrawing from the college, administrative, medical withdrawal. There are, statements, policies about re-examination, repeating the course, matriculation, incomplete grades, requirements for a bachelor's degree in terms of like the number of credits. And I'm going to jump out here now, and I'm going to start to show you what you're going to do. So we're going to use Google Forms. So make sure you're logged into your Mount Aloysius College account. That's very important. And we're going to go to the apps, and we're going to go to Google Forms. So we're going to start a blank form. I don't want you to do the quiz template. I want you to kind of start it from scratch as a blank form. And what we're going to do here is we're going to go to the settings. So I just opened a blank form. Let's go ahead and name it. So graduation quiz part. So there I named it. Then I'm going to go to the settings. So I click on the settings, and what I'm going to do here, the three tabs at the top, you have general, presentation, and quizzes. We're going to select quizzes and slide this over to make this a quiz. And then you can leave this other stuff alone down here unless you want to mess with it, but I'm going to just leave it alone and come out here. So my first question is going to be, let's see here, I'm going to make it a multiple choice, but here are your options right here. So you have multiple choice, short answer, paragraph. I would definitely stay away from the paragraph option. Multiple choice, check boxes where you can have more than one correct answer. Drop down, that is where you have your question, and then you can select a drop down, and the options would all be listed in drop down, then you would select the correct answer there. There are some more advanced things like linear scale. There's multiple choice grid, checkbox grid. You can do that if you want to, but my recommendation would be to stick within these right here. If you want to do true and false, that would be using the multiple choice option, and then your possible answers would be true or false. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of get you started here, showing you how many credits Okay, so here's the question. I just typed in the question right in the question field, and it's a multiple choice. And I'm going to put in there how many, the question is how many credits do you need to graduate with a bachelor's degree from Mount Aloysius College? My first option, I'm going to list options here. So is it 100? You can just hit enter on the keyboard or click down and it'll fill in more options. 110, 120, none of the above. Okay, so there's my first question. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to make this we have to mark the correct question. So we type the question in, possible answers, and then we have to go to answer key, and then we are going to select the question, correct question, give this points. Just make each one worth 1 point. And then when we are done with that, I selected the question, gave it point value. I'm going to click done. So now I'm ready for my next question. Okay. So now my next question, I'm going to add another question by clicking over here, the little plus sign. And by default, it's going to add a multiple choice. I'm going to keep it at that just to show the difference on how you can use this with true and false. So I just typed in here, the sky is blue today, just to show you. Option 1 would be true, and then option 2 would be false. And it's intuitive enough that it knows that I'm putting a true and false. So when I hit the enter key on the keyboard, it automatically populated the false response. So I'm going to go in here because it's not today. I'm going to mark. I'm going to add the correct answer is false. I'm going to change the point value here to 1. So point value, correct answer, and then done. Okay, now I'm going to go out and preview this. That's just the basics of how you would create this. And now you can just practice. This is what it looks like now. When you finish this, 10 questions, you're going to send this out to one other student in the class and me as well. So you're going to email it. In order to do that, I'm going to go back here to the form. I'm going to close this out. So now I'm going to send it. So I click on send, and I'm going to email it, and just type in the email here. So I'm typing in myself, and you're going to type in me and one other student, and then the subject would be graduation quiz. You can click on this include form in the email. That's just for me. You may not want to do that. What that does is when I get the email, then the actual questions, your quiz will be embedded right in the email itself. Okay. You still have the option to open it and complete the quiz in Google Forms, but I want to be able to look at them and grade them quickly. So if you click on this include form in email, and then when you're done, just click on send. And that's it. Okay, that's all you have to do. 10 questions, all related to the Mount Aloysius College graduation requirements found in the catalog. Be creative. You can do this. You can try to stump your students that you're sending this out to. Be creative. Have fun with it. And definitely email me if you have any questions or concerns. Okay, that's all I have. Thanks.